Hello. Hey everyone. Woo. Hi Penny. How are you? Hello. You're making me laugh from this beginning. That's awesome. Good start for everything. Um, so I actually wanted to say to start with saying hi to my new subscribers. I've had quite a few lately, and I wanted to say thank you for joining in for this project, for this channel, um, and yeah, and I know that the timing of the live can't fit everybody, but if you're missing it because you're somewhere that the time doesn't fit, then maybe let me know in the comments where you're from, and I can see if I can adjust things. I can't promise, but I can definitely try. Hey Moika. Hello. So yes, I wanted to start with just say thank you to everybody that's joining me because it's so much fun. And yeah, even though I think that we all know now that this house will not be finished in 1 month, it's still so much fun doing this every day and progressing and chatting to everybody and getting ideas. So yeah, we'll get where we'll get and continue from there afterwards. It's not, October is not the end of, I don't know what I'm saying with this. Anyways, let's get to it. So I'll do a split screen here. So yeah, yesterday we did this little guy here, this little tiny frame with clay, and I wanted to trying to focus. Yeah, that's pretty much focused. And I have stains on my hands. That's normal. Um, and I wanted to show you that I did another one that if you remember during the live, I did I used the chain to create this kind of, oop, 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 oop. Yes, you can. Come into the light. Now focus. There it is. Sometimes. Now I can't move. I can't move. Anyways, if you remember, then yesterday I used the chain in the clay to create this kind of dappled pattern. So I used it for, I let it dry like I do usually, and I used it to create this frame. And I colored it with copper with a bit of gold for highlights. And I really like how it came out. So I wanted to show you how that went. Yeah, I don't know. This for me, like at least for me, the association when I see this kind of dappled pattern for metal, I always think copper. So I went with copper. Always, so variety and such. So today, trying to be actually in the screen. Yeah, so today we're doing a little sickle or scythe or maybe both, because actually we were talking yesterday about the decoration, basically on the opposite wall from the pictures where the fireplace is. Above the fireplace we were talking about doing maybe the crest of arm, no, coat of arms. Oh dear, coat of arms for this family, and we're talking about maybe doing kind of like a two crossed sickles. And apparently, I didn't know that, but when I was looking online, apparently the Grim Reaper one is called scythe. I think it's scythe. I'm not entirely sure if it's pronounced that way, but it's because when I say Sith, I kind of think of Star Wars, and that's not the case here. So I think it's Sith, and the small one that is more round, that's like one-handed one, is a sickle. So I'm now thinking of actually doing both. There'll be like one, the Sith that's a long one, and the sickle that's a little shorter one, and do them crossed above the fireplace. And speaking of, since we're working on the space above the fireplace, obviously I had to finish it. So I did. And I'm really happy with how it came out. What do you think? There we go. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try and do full screen like this, because I think then I can, yeah, I can get it in better lighting and you can see it. I think that during the live, when I made it, I told you that I had this idea of kind of, well, we had these two sort of, the space that was created between these two flourishes, and I had the idea of making an eye there. So I did. And, I made it red to fit kind of with the stairs and some other highlights in the room. So this is our fireplace. Thanks, Penny. And yeah, so this is going to sit on this wall here. As you can see, I already kind of cut the space here. This, if I have, yeah, just bring a piece of black cardstock. This is basically going to be like a hole, a dark space behind where the fireplace goes. And we are working on this space here, which, as you can see, with all of this decoration, we don't actually have a ton of space. Hey, Sue. Yeah, I'm just showing off the fireplace, the finished fireplace. So yeah, I did. I don't know if it's actually easy to see with all the paint work, but this sort of eye symbol, and I purposely did it a little abstract, so it might be just read as just decor, not necessarily as an eye, but also can be read as an eye. So that was done with wires that I afterwards painted, and I added this little red gem. Oh, that's what we're building today, Sue. Not yet. I haven't. I've made the fireplace, so I'll know how much room I have above. We're doing the scythe today. Hey, Sam. So yeah, so this is, with all of these details, it's pretty high. It ends up pretty high, so we don't have a whole lot of space here. But I think we still can add a scythe and a sickle. And I started working on the scythe, the handle, basically because, okay, I'll show you the picture that I was, because there are different ways you can do it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so this is the picture that I was looking at as inspiration. It's very like basic style of the scythe. It's kind of classic, actually used, not the not the Grim Reaper one, although generally speaking, usually the Grim Reaper is supposed to look like usual scythe, but sometimes they kind of add to it or do other things. So I was trying to figure out how to do the handle. Originally, I thought about wire, but then I figured it might be if you worked with crafts. They used the ends of one of those toothpicks. I gave you a link for who used, but yeah. What are we talking about? Penny, I'm trying to look up in the... Yeah, yeah. Okay, Penny, let me know what you mean by who used the ends of one of the. Oh, well, that's not actually a miniature one. The one that I was showing, I don't think so. But yeah. but but yeah, that would have been good if I could actually get those toothpicks. At the moment, I don't have them, so I'm just going to use. I just so I tried. I had a couple of tries. I started with like a toothpick, carving into it, but it's very thin. I didn't have enough material for this because I wanted more of a curve, so I ended up cutting a piece of one of those shish kebab stu- um okay, I'm cool with that. Then maybe it is a miniature and I got the wrong picture, but hey, it's a cool reference. I'm happy. It's just too big for this. I did, as you can see, I did make sure that it's in a height that can go above it. I'm not sure. I think that if we'll do it, if it lays down in a right angle, there will be a place for the shield. But yes, skewers. That's the word. Honestly, I think that I will not be able to speak without you guys. I keep forgetting words. But yes, so I used a skewer. I carved it out with a craft knife to create this wave form. And now we need to add the blade and try to add these little handles if we can. It is possible to not have them, so we'll see. But I think that it should be possible. If I use the edges of the toothpick, I could definitely make handles out of them, I think. But let's start with a blade. And it's kind of funny, like when you think of like the scythe and the sickle, then for the scythe, the handle is kind of tricky, and the blade is pretty simple, and for the sickle it's the other way around, so we'll see how it goes. Yes, I know, Penny, and thank you so much for the link and everything, but I'm in Israel, so if I order from the US, by the time they'll reach here, it's gonna take a while. They're very tiny, but they're like this size. These are the size that I know. So, you know, it might have fit, but I can't get them fast enough. So, oh, okay. Yeah, Sam can probably get them a lot faster than me. Hey, Leanne. Cool. So for the blade, I'm going to use this the foil tape sheets. It just, I'm going to use a black paper, cardstock paper. I don't know. Yeah, it's very thin cardstock. I'm going to use that as a base, but on top of it for the metallic fill, I like to use the foil because, well, it's actual metal, so that's useful. I shall find some. Yeah, I know, Penny. I'll try to find them here. They're just not we do have them here, but they're not that common, and I just make do sometimes. Okay, so I'm just putting the handle on top here so I can paint pretty much the size of the blade that I want. I'm not sure, I might want it a bit more curved, but I think that's about it. And I'm going to kind of lengthen this a bit because I know that I want to have it wrapped around. Okay. Okay, if they're screaming my name, then I must find them. Thank you, Penny. So yeah, I think this will be a good size blade. I'll just cut it out. And I'm cutting only one of this because basically the idea will be that I will double it up with this tape and it's sticky. So I will not have to, so that's how I'll connect it to this little handle of ours. So just cutting this. It's so tiny. Come out. There we go. Looks a bit more like a nose than a blade, but that's okay. Now let's see. I've definitely cut it crookedly, but I kind of like it, I think. It looks like a beak. It looks more like a beak than a handle, honestly, but I kind of like it. So we'll go with that. I am just going to straighten up this part a little bit. Now we'll just cut a tiny piece of this little foil here. Yeah, that's enough. Good. And before I start doing this, I'm going to use this nail file. Yes, nail file. To scratch this because obviously this sickle has been used. So just to kind of give a little bit of texture and make it more interesting. Ooh. Too much reflection, but yeah, I think you can see the scratches. We have scratches now. And it's just easier to do this now than after. I am going to use some alcohol ink to stain it afterwards, but that part I prefer to do after I kind of glue it down. Okay, so now is the tricky part because sticky things are, well, they're sticky and sometimes they give you problem. Yes, brushed metal. So I'm just going to very simply put it down. I'm going to actually use this toothpick to kind of press it down in place. Did I get it all right? Yes, good. Now, place the handle where we want it. Just put it in there. No. Okay. Let's be smart about it and cut out the shape on this side first. Because otherwise, it will be hell. And we don't like that. Too much. I mean, I don't know. Do we? Okay. Just cutting it in there. I do blab a lot when I work, so forgive me for being incoherent at times. Okay. That should be good enough. I'm going to fold this part back. And now we'll place, I'm just making sure that's the shorter edge. I'm going to place it where I want it and wrap this around it. Very gently, just making sure also that the handle is actually in the right direction. Thank you, little C. It's kind of It is very fiddly right now and kind of hard to also, show what I'm doing, but I hope you're seeing well enough. Okay, so basically we have it glued. I will use my beloved tweezers to kind of give it a nice squeeze here. Now we just need to cut around. I think yeah, you should be able to see where we're at. Okay. Now we'll just take the scissors and simply follow the already kind of the pattern, the lines that we already have. And other side. I'm gonna just use my finger to make sure that it's done, but yeah, done. We can start ripping. Ready to rip tiny people. No, I mean wheat. Of course, wheat. Cool. I think that, yeah, we can still play a little bit with the angle to make sure that it's sitting how we want it to sit. It's not the most stable thing, but since it's going to be glued on the wall, I'm not too worried about that. What I am going to do now is put this aside. And I'm actually going, because it's such a tiny piece, I'm going to just use an alcohol ink marker to basically go over the edges a little bit and also just kind of, age the edge a bit, stain the metal a little bit, and so on. And you can kind of what's the actual English word for schmeal? Because I mean, you use schmeal, right? Like to smear something, or does that make sense to people when I say that? I don't know, because I know it's Yiddish, but I'm never sure like which part of Yiddish actually goes to English and which part aren't. So that'll be pretty much it for the blade. Now the question is whether yeah, it's cool. Now I definitely want to age the stick, and we're going to use a little bit of ink for that. I think that would be the easiest way because it is wood. So if we use some ink, it will bring out the texture of the wood. Yes, schmier some schmutz. I do love Yiddish, but sometimes I'm just like, so, but what's the English word? So I just put some ink on my craft mat, and I'll just use a water brush to brush a little bit of it and darken the wood. And that will be probably, yeah, that'll be enough to kind of give it a bit of aging. I do think I might come back later with With a teensy bit of nice dark red alcohol in. And just put a little bit in the edges just to suggest that, it's been used. Okay. So for now that looks good. We'll let it dry. Sometimes when it dries, it becomes a lot paler, a lot lighter. So I might need to add some more. But for now that looks good. I'll just clean the ink from the brush. Bus. Smear, but smears. Oh, smear, right. See, I think that's why I always forget it. Because it just sounds exactly the same to me. It's like it's just a sh and a s. So I'm just confused. It just seems like I think that I just always assume that it's wrong. Okay. Now we need to add the teeny tiny little handles. And for that, I'll just use this toothpick. I'm gonna chop I think, yeah. I'll remove the very, very sharp edge because it's a little too sharp or too narrow. And then we'll just use the tip. I think we'll need tweezers for sure. But I think that this would be a good size. Now I just need to... Yiddish is just awesome, like Hebrew has a lot of Yiddish as well, just because it's such a fun language to speak. It has the cutest sound. So yeah, we definitely use it as well. Right. Okay, so what we need to do is basically glue one up here in this direction and one down here. And that, well, then we'll have to let it dry very well, because it's one of those things that, yes you can. Come on, there you go. 2 tiny handles. Schmuck is a very familiar word indeed. Yes. Also, it's just good. I don't know. Okay, so in this case, I think I'll just straight up dip it in the glue. I'm just catching it with a very tip of my tweezers and just put it here in the tub. Get some. Oh, I lost it almost. Come on. There you go. And just gently place it there and hope it'll stay, basically. And I'll do the same with the other handle, although if I'm honest, honestly, if I wasn't doing it live, I would probably stop now, just let this one dry and then do the other one. But hey, we're living on the edge. Let's try do both. And this one is around here in this direction. Okay. And I'll just put it aside to dry, not touching. And now I want to try and do a sickle. Now for the sickle, what's tricky is the shape, the round shape of the blade. It's not tricky for everyone, probably, but it is tricky for me. Thanks so much, Penny. Mm, and also kind of trying to take into account that, okay, this if this is a scythe, then the sickle should be probably around like this tall. It can't be much bigger than that. Um, so I'll try and just paint the shape. A nice little crescent moon, basically. Be something like that. And I'm going to make the blade maybe a little bit wider than it should actually be, but you know what? That's okay. So yeah, I think something like that would work. And we're basically going to do pretty much the same process. I'm just gonna check. Yeah, that should be an okay size. I mean, yeah, it's a little big, but it's also probably, made for ritual and stuff. So it's okay if it's not completely realistic. Um, Now for this, I think that for in this case, for the handle, I might actually try to cut the toothpick in the middle, because we'll use a toothpick edge for the handle. And I'm thinking, trying if I can actually cut it in the middle and slid the paper in like an actual one is done, that would be amazing. Not sure I can do it, but hey, we're trying. So let me just cut this guy out. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm making the blade and then I'll do the handle. I might also, basically, if I can just cut the toothpick in the middle, then it's fine. I can just glue the two sides together. I don't need to create a perfect little slit to put the blade into. So let's just see how it goes. And yeah, I really don't like cutting circles. Mm, okay, I think we got it. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not entirely sure I'm happy with the tip of the blade, but let me see if I can fix it a bit. Hey, that was very rude. Yeah, it is cute. Okay. Yes, I think this is better. And yeah, we can remove this part. Okay. It's a little wide. It is a little wide. I'll try to make it a little bit narrower. Ugh. Cutting tiny things is hard. Fussy cutting is not my forte, so this is like a huge challenge for me. Just saying. If I can do it, anyone can. But yay. I think that's good. It is a giant blade, but you know, the handle will be like this long, so I think that it works with the scythe. Take this aside. Let's bring our foil. And yeah, I'll just cut another piece from here. Yep. And I'll do the same thing again. Do the tarnished metal look because it's cool. And I kind of do it in both directions. One, because I like it better when it's both directions, and also, admittingly, because when I'm doing the, if I did it for one direction, it would make more sense in a certain angle of the blade. This way, I don't need to worry about it that much. So, you know, maybe I'm just being lazy, but I think it's allowed sometimes. Okay. So, exactly like we did with the scythe blade, just gonna place it in. Oh, I'm gonna just this way, I think. Yeah, let's put it this way. It doesn't actually matter in this case because I'm basically going to just cut it on all angles, but it is easier to just cut one side, then glue it again. Yeah, even though it means that I have to cut the same tiny little shape again and again. But we'll call it practice. Also, it's a lot easier because you have the kind of step, I don't know, basically because you have the paper shape there, then it's easier to cut because you just put your scissors right next to it and follow, and it generally works. What are you doing? Oh, it's fine. Yes, it's definitely more sturdy, and it's very useful, especially because this foil, I mean, it's awesome that it's so thin because that allows for a lot of wrapping techniques and stuff like that that would not necessarily work otherwise. But also, it's super thin. So sometimes it can be a little tricky to work with. And adding the paper in the middle just makes it a whole lot easier. Also, I will say that because I know it's so thin and can be wrapped around, I don't need to worry too much about cutting it exactly, because you can always just, yeah, push the foil into place and make sure that it works, that it sits nicely. Okay, there we go. Second side. Definitely misbehaving there, but it's okay. Alrighty. And second side. Just sticks to your scissors constantly. But yeah. How is everyone today? Hope you're having a good day. And oh, Just a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely butchering this cut up, but you know, we'll fix it in a bit. So what I'm actually going to do is take this bone folder and just go over the edges, especially the inner edge, because it can give it the shape that looks like, you know, the angle of a blade, which is more realistic and awesome for what we want. So that's one side. And now the other, again, just pushing it to create this kind of angle of the blade. Also just pushes it into place and make sure that that we have it sitting right where we want it, and that the edges look good. It's always a little tricky with pieces this size, but with a little bit of patience, you can kind of get it to sit exactly where and how you want it, which is always nice. Okay. I think our blade is done. Let's see. Give it another more of a push here. Really trying to kind of recreate the sort of, you know, the very gentle slope of the sharp edge in the blade. And I think it worked. Show you. There we go. That's our blade. I will add some alcohol ink to it now, and then we'll do the handle real quick. Okay, so ink, just really a little bit to basically shade it a bit, accentuate the sharpness of the blade. Hey, and so on. Might need to kind of go back with the file on this one. It feels like it lost a bit of the texture that I created, but yeah, so far it looks pretty good, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna just already stain this area because this is where the handle is going to grab the blade, and that area is always a little bit darker, a little bit dirtier. So just do that. And let's see. So for the handle, I'm going to use a piece of toothpick. I think it's wide enough. Just checking if I shouldn't use this. I might actually use this one. Although then, no, I'll use the toothpick. I'm just gonna cut a little piece of it. I think that's enough. And, oof, okay. I need to bring in my cutting board. Just a second. I apparently put all my stuff on the cutting board, so just need to clear it for a sec. There we go. And I'm gonna try very gently to split this in half. Hey Terry, how are you? Okay. Oh, this is the tricky part. Okay. You know, cutting things without cutting your fingers is sometimes tricky. Oh. Okay, especially when they're sitting around. Let's see if I can do this, or we might need to find another way to do it. I know. I really need to figure out a way to bring the camera closer to the table, but I don't know. The setup here is a little challenging. Hey, stop sleeping. I have a thought. Let's see. Oh, no. I think that's not an option so much. Maybe it is actually. I think it actually worked. It's completely split. Like if you see, it's completely squished and split. Trying to bring it with light. Yeah. And focus. Please focus camera. Come on. It's completely squished, but there's a split. And I think we can put the blade in the split and just glue everything back and it'll be okay. Ooh. Ooh. We hope so. Okay, I need to make this a little bit thinner there. Let's see if we can convince this. Oh, there is a split. Yes, you can. Oh, don't die. I think it works. Ta-da! It actually worked. I'm amazed. I'm gonna put it in a better angle like this. But yeah. Oof. Oh, good morning, Terry. That's right. It's early today. So yeah. Okay. I don't dare touch like releasing it. I'm just gonna add the glue here like this. And I think I might, let's see. Where's the other toothpick there? What I'm gonna do, actually, put it gently. Bring in some of this very thin string. This is a beading string, so it's super thin and super strong. And we are going to wrap it right here. Don't do that. Right on the edge, which both gives us a little nice detail and actually helps us, keeping everything in place. So, win-win. Absolutely. Just need to actually manage to tie it up. Even though, yeah, I did put it straight into glue, so hopefully that's also gonna help, but trying to tie it up. Yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I said yes. Do you encourage your strings sometimes to get tied up? Okay. I think it worked. Just a sec. Oh, there we go. I knew you could do it. Okay. That's a tiny sickle. Look at that. He's tiny. Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I will probably play with this blade a little bit more because I'm not entirely happy with the shape of it. But hell yeah, it worked. I'm gonna tie this one more time. I'm gonna do so we can cut it off as well. Oh, hello. Yes, come here. This is Bastet. She's saying hi. Yes, kitten. Um, okay. Oop, one more knot. And I will, I'll cut the edges, but I want all the glue to dry first completely so I know that it's all secure. And I think basically, okay, you know what? I will cut it off. I'll twist try. Yep, because, yeah, this string can be a little tricky to cut. It's actually easier to cut with, oh, come on. Yes, you can. There you go. This time it went well. And, okay, I'm gonna glue these edges down. I'm gonna also ink the handle to make it look a bit aged and all of that good stuff. But for now, I do believe, my friends, that we have a sickle and a scythe. Ta-da! Happy. And we can have a look at how it could potentially look here. Yeah, the handle definitely needs to be darker because it just gets completely lost up here. I'm not sure actually if they'll be crossed or just kind of hang right next to each other because the handle of the sickle is a little short for actually being crossed, but maybe they can somehow, like this, maybe. I'll bring it up. There we go. Still need to age the metal a bit more, but hey, that worked. That worked really cool. Okay, so that worked. I'm very happy because honestly, I wasn't sure how well it's gonna work because, yeah, never really done that before. So thanks for joining me for this little tryout adventure. um, I definitely want to kind of age the metal a bit more. Maybe, like I said, add a teensy bit of the like a red marking there, just to suggest that it may have not always been used for wheat. Uh, Thanks, Sue. Yeah, I would say that there were moments when I was like also worried for my fingers, which is also not useful. But I'm very happy that it came out well. Um, Thank you, Terry. Yeah. So, okay. So I think that let me see. Let's bring this floor. So this wall is gonna go here, right? And we have some pictures for this wall as well. And now the question is, stay, wall, stay. Tomorrow, shall we move to here or to the kitchen? Fresh blood. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. If I cut my finger, it would have been perfect. Little sacrifice to the gods of creativity. Anyways, yeah. So, okay, so we can move definitely to the kitchen. What I was saying, like for this part, it's not about doing the walls or floor or something. The little hole is tense, yeah. But the walls and the floors I will do separately. We've done enough of those. But what I would do for this part is maybe a teeny tiny little hanger for coats and hats and stuff. That would be really cool to make as well. I have no idea how I would make that either. But in the kitchen, we have a ton of things to figure out. There's an oven to figure out. There's I got a comment today from someone on one of the earlier videos that said that the little elevator thing for the foods from the kitchen to the dining room is called dumbwaiter, and I'm just in love. That is the best term ever, dumbwaiter. I'm happy. So we're definitely gonna have a dumbwaiter somewhere around here. Um, with the oven, I do need to figure it out because where it will be will probably kind of decide on where the chimney and stuff would be. Another chimney, because we'll have a chimney here. There's going to be fireplaces on this wall all the way up. Yes, I never knew this term, Terry, but it's just so awesome. It's terrible and awesome at the same time. Made me very happy. So in the kitchen, there will be a lot of things to figure out because, yeah, when we do the oven, I think that I would definitely like to figure out a way that there will be light inside the oven, like creeping out evilly. Because to be clear, I do want to do lighting in this house, but I don't want it to be from lamps and things because it's meant to be an abandoned house, not in use. Yes, Terry, exactly. But I'd want it to be like either weird lighting that emanates from like behind a door or a corridor or from a fireplace, but without explanation, not something that looks like a nice warm fire, inviting fire. Nuh-uh, not in this house. So there will be an oven and like the whole thing to figure out. That would be so cool. But there can be really cool stuff in this place as well. So now here's the question: what should we do? Yeah, side table with a mirror over it. So that's the thing, that basically we have rooms upstairs. There'll be like bedrooms or like places where, the owners of the house get ready. This area is basically a servant's hall. Like, it's not where the guests are supposed to be. It's um like, they're not supposed to go there, but if there's like a hosting a party in the hall and they don't go upstairs, then this is where they would leave maybe their coats and stuff like that. You might notice that back there is an opening in the floor, because that will be where the stairs for the basement will be. The basement, which I have not yet built, but it's a haunted house. It has to have a basement, and it will. So we'll get to that at some point. For now, kitchen or hanger or something in the middle. We'll see. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. Ooh, laundry chest. Yeah, I suppose that there should be laundry stuff somewhere in the house, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm like that logical to actually do that. But we'll see. I mean, it's actually a very big kitchen area, so we can have several things in there. Yeah, I don't know. So, do have a lot of work in the kitchen either way. The floor is curling. But yeah, we have those walls of ours. They're all completely curled. I have to put them under a book for the night or something. Look at that. It'll be fine. Bell on a rope. Haha. Ooh, actually, yeah, in here we can definitely have like those, those sets of bells that each one is a different room. I like that. We'll definitely have it in this room somewhere in this area. So more stuff for that area. Oh no. Yes, I know, Sue. So many ideas, so little time, and so little house too. There's this, like, sometimes it just, oh gee. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I might I might put a vote in, like, in my social media. I can't do it here in the community tab yet because yeah, I just can't use it yet for that. So but I'll definitely be able to. I'll just put like a little poll maybe or something in Instagram or Facebook, so you can tell me what you feel like, and I'll also see what I feel like, because I am very tempted by tiny bells and by oven and so many things. Some panels and journals before I start Christmas. Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, I don't. Yeah, we don't really have Christmas here, so I can just continue. Sometimes there's a benefit in that. But yeah, okay. So I think we'll finish up for today. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. I am very happy with how the Great Hall is getting. I like these little duties. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for either kitchen or servants hallway. I don't know how to call it. This scary narrow space. That one. Uh oh. Woo. Yes, 14 people is a big family. I mean, even if I did have to do Christmas stuff, like if it's just family, woo, Like, yeah, my family is very small, so I would not have to worry about it too much. But still, that sounds like a lot of work and a lot of fun. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, I'll post a little bit later a picture of what we've done today, and I'll also ask about tomorrow. So feel free to. That's enough, Hasu. And yeah, let me know what you feel like. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. And yeah, have a great rest of the day there.